The third and final trailer for Tears of the Kingdom was, without a doubt, insane. There were simply so many new things unveiled with plenty of details that someone could probably make an hour-long analysis of it. But I'll keep this one on the shorter end. In this video, I will go through the new trailer frame by frame, showing the hidden, small, or interesting details that you may have missed, while leaving the in-depth theories for separate videos. You may have noticed some of these, but probably not all of them, so let's jump right in. The trailer starts off with quite the cinematic view of the Sky Islands, although these are mostly similar to the ones that we have seen before. It then cuts to a scene where a construct can be seen fighting with a choo-choo, showing that the constructs likely just attack anything foreign to them. One of the new shrines and some railing can also be seen in the background here, but similar to the new towers, they seem to be a common enough sight where I don't think I'll keep pointing them out. A ranger construct is shown chopping at wood here, showing that they likely have a handful of tasks that they do on the islands, since we have also seen them sweeping before. Next, we get a sweeping shot of Link on the surface, and the new shrine shown here is actually in the exact same spot that a Sheikah shrine was in Breath of the Wild. Other than that, a single floating island can be seen in the distance, a bokoblin camp, and the entire field is littered with Sky Island debris. Not to mention the very large fallen Sky Island that we get a better look at in an upcoming scene. We then get a look at a lively and similar, but definitely different, Hateno village. There are many colorful mushrooms shown here, but they almost look handmade, as if they're made out of fabric. Not sure what this could symbolize, but there are little mushrooms on the mushrooms themselves. Here, we get a shot of the destroyed castle town with a few tents and materials set up. I could see this becoming a buildable town, similar to how Terry Town was in Breath of the Wild. Because there is a royal insignia on the tents though, it could also seem that some of the royal ruling could have somewhat been built up again by Link and Zelda since Breath of the Wild. The same fallen Sky Island that we saw earlier is also visible here again, along with some thing in the back here. I thought maybe a stable at first, but it almost just looks like a very large tree. Not sure. In this shot, we finally get a look at the fallen Sky Island, which seems to be quite damaged, and there is a lot more sky debris around it too, along with another one of the Zonai shrines. This looks like it may be in the hills around Kakariko Village, as similar buildings can be seen in the bottom right here, which could explain why there is scaffolding of sorts by the debris, possibly so that the Sheikah people living there could study it. In the background, a red ring of malice can be seen here too, which likely act as entrances to underground caves since we've seen them around Hyrule and the fields before. Link is then shown running through some Zonai architecture, and a Sky Island is shown that looks very unique, just going up in very small segments. It almost looks like a large box is directly below it too, which could be a Zonai labyrinth, so it's completely possible that they are connected in some way. A shot of the Gerudo Desert is shown, where another Zonai shrine can be seen, and a very large structure rising from beneath the ground. It shares a decently similar appearance to the entrance shown in the very first teaser for this game too, so maybe it's related to the cave where Ganondorf is found, but that's kinda hard to say. This scene is of a group of Sheikah being surprised by the falling sky debris and the rising castle, and this is most likely when this is all happening, so pretty early on in the game, or a flashback. A shot of Ganondorf in front of the Blood Moon is then shown, and boy does he look scaly and with long red flowing hair. He really does look like Demise. I know there are theories about how past incarnations of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf could be in this game, and man, this looks like Demise, so I could see it. Especially since they decided not to show his face, but it could just be Ganondorf in some unique state when the Blood Moon comes around. We finally see Link not catching Zelda here too. These large holes in the Gerudo Desert are likely cave entrances or an entrance to some sort of dungeon. Next, we see Link in a massive underground area with lava flowing around him. It's possible he is inside or near Death Mountain here, or simply some other cave. We don't really have a way to guess how the caves will be organized in Tears of the Kingdom. Now we see Link in one of the storm clouds that seemingly surround certain islands, and there are a handful of ships. It's hard to say more about them though, but we do see them more later in the trailer. Link can be seen here in a wingsuit of sorts falling down a large hole. While this could easily be some new large hole, people are theorizing it could also be Master Koga's hole or the hole that the Gerudo Tower is in Breath of the Wild. The lever here that Link is turning seems to move where the hole of this structure is. It's possible that this is one of the spherical sky islands that we have seen before. There's also a container full of something here, likely used for a puzzle. Next, we see Link with a new Zonai spear riding through a field of various NPCs fighting quite strongly leveled enemies. It seems like the role of NPCs in Tears of the Kingdom will be a lot more important than it was in Breath of the Wild. The next shot shows us a new character. They can be seen with large ears or hair, horns, and even a third closed eye. It is possible that they are Zonai in the flesh, but we can't really say for now. There are also some people behind him, and the foot here almost resembles a Rito. We can catch another quick glimpse of a large tree in the distance here. Possibly unimportant, but still worth noting. This Zonai enemy seems to be pulling itself out of the wall and likely acts as some sort of mini-boss for where this is. It could be underground since roots can be seen and it appears almost pitch black outside. Some of the new Zonai script can be seen here too. Link can now be seen standing in a perfectly restored Hyrule Castle Sanctum interior. So either they rebuilt it since Breath of the Wild, or there could be some sort of time travel mechanic. There seems to be a lot pointing towards a possible time travel mechanic, to be honest, but that can be saved for a video on its own. Now, we get a typical Link and the Master Sword are our only hope, but it seems that the Master Sword is once again in front of the Deku tree, as we can see something that resembles it and even some Koroks. But it also isn't destroyed. I don't want to say it again, but possible time travel? We can also see Zelda now dressed in Zonai attire while a Zonai is talking to her. We can also see here the first tear shown in the trailer around Zelda's neck. While fighting constructs, Link can be seen here holding a sword with a shield fused onto it, allowing him to seemingly parry with it. This sphere could possibly be the same from earlier. Next, it shows what is very likely a Goron rolling into a wall, and two young Goron can even be seen here watching. It's possible that this is a trial Link has to pass, or the Goron is simply opening up a path for him. A shot inside one of the storm clouds is finally shown, and it seems to be snowing. There are many small islands inside, along with ships flying around. Link is shown here carrying a cart created with Ultra Hand full of NPCs somewhere, possibly to a new town, or it's simply a quest. A cave entrance can be seen here, with some large blue stone inside. Link has a shield with a rocket fused to it here. The shield itself looks Zonai and almost resembles the circular blue glow of the game's logo. Link can be seen platforming here with low gravity, likely from the blocks that he is stepping on. The same floating balls of water from earlier can also be seen here too. And some thick, dark liquid seems to be dropping from one sky island to another. Not really sure what this could be though. Next, we see Link battling a construct in an underground area, showing that they can also be underground, or more likely just anywhere Zonai, and this structure is Zonai, evident by the lighting on the walls. It seems that with Ultra Hand, Link will be able to build large vehicles even to rival the stone Talus. Link can be seen here shooting a fire arrow made with a fused ruby, riding an armored horse, and he's even wearing a helmet that resembles Dinral's horns. Link then shoots a contraption that almost looks like a Zonai battery, a wheel, and another block held together by Ultra Hand. This Bokoblin is also carrying a backpack full of red choo-choo jelly. Link and Tulin are shown again in the storm cloud, except Link is now wearing a headdress that resembles Naedra's color and horns, showing that the dragons may have their own armor sets or at least helmets. A large boss-style creature is seen leaping towards them here too. It's hard to say exactly what it could be, but possibly a Goma or an Ice Goma, or even something entirely new. It appears to be made entirely of ice though, and only narrowly avoids Link. Zelda is shown here looking at her tear, which has the kanji for time on it, or Ji, similar to the Recall ability, but I'll have a whole video on how Recall is unique compared to the rest of the other abilities soon. The Lynels here could be seen with new styles, as they look mean, honestly. The one on the right has such expansive horns, it seems that every enemy got buffs this time around. Next, we finally see Ganondorf with his tear shining on his forehead. His body is not scaly here, and his hair looks normal too, showing that the person by the blood moon from earlier does definitely look different than him. Another new mini-boss is shown here, looking almost made out of mud and going in and out of the ground like a Molduga, but from Splatoon. A quick glimpse of another new character is shown, resembling Zelda in many ways, including a similar tear around her neck, and seemingly using the same goddess powers that Zelda uses. This could be Zelda, or a past version of Zelda, or even Hylia. It seems she may be using that power to attack in the next shot too. Next we see Ryu, who is also shown with a tear. Link can also be seen here wielding a sword with a construct horn fused to it with a handful of NPCs. In the next shot, there are actually many new things. We can see a new construct here with a very ornate, large horn style, along with the Sky Island architecture that we have not seen before, with very grand white and black material, not to mention Sidon fighting alongside Link. Another different style construct is also seen here with what looks like a banner on its head. An excellent view of Sidon's tear can be seen here too, and he is now wearing the Zora crown, showing that he may have become king since Breath of the Wild. A good shot of Tulin's tear is also shown here. The trailer ends with Zelda telling Link that he must find her. And, location-wise, that is not that hard. She is on a lower sky island that is easily traceable, so it's quite likely that, once again, time travel. And Link must not only find where she is, but when she is. Her clutching the Master Sword during this could also hint that that is how she communicates to Link, through the Master Sword. But then that's it. There was so much to be found in the background of this trailer, and we now know so much about this game. There are still plenty of theories and guesses that people have though, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see my future videos going over them. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like if you enjoyed. I really appreciate it, and until next time, I'm KI Zelda, and I'll see you in the next video.